Hello, Josh. Quick question. Ever thought about doing acting? Have you been asked to or contacted to do so? So before I was doing YouTube, I was in the world of acting, or at least trying to be, and I found minor success within theatre. I was able to pay bills. I was teaching acting in various places, both high school, college, university, or independent troupe kind of level. And I enjoyed it very much. I had a good time, and I would love to go back into acting. Unfortunately, it's extremely risky. It's not many people find success. Even if you do find success, if you will, it's sometimes not enough to retire on. You have to be a jobbing actor forever. And trying to be a jobbing actor, which is someone who moves from job to pay the bills, means I would not have any time to create content. I would effectively have to give up the YouTube and the Twitch, which I am simply not willing to do because I love YouTube and Twitch and I want to keep going it. YouTube and Twitch is a full-time job. If you want to turn it into a job instead of a hobby, you are doing it all the time. I mean, I've been editing that Silent Bomber video all day. What will I do next? Well, I'll probably do another worst MMO ever. I tend to alternate between the channels. What's going to be next on the Was It Good, the JoshStrifePlays channel? I'm thinking Jade Cocoon. I'm thinking maybe Nightmare Creatures. I'm thinking maybe Alundra. I'm thinking possibly, what's a good PS2 game for it? We could redo Dino Crisis again. That'd be fine. Myst is an interesting one to look into it. Oh, Spartan Total Warrior. I loved Spartan Total Warrior. That was a good one. Oh, Death Trap Dungeon. So Death Trap Dungeon is incredibly difficult. I love Death Trap Dungeon. Fly for Fun. Yep, that's going to be on there eventually. Jade Cocoon is saying yes. Any plans to do Knights of the Old Republic? Again, yes. Wouldn't you say becoming a content creator was a more risky move than sticking to be an actor? So, Paya, what I was doing was I was actually working lots of jobs while I was trying to follow the acting dream. I was working as a host in a trampoline park. I was bouncing around and hosting parties. I've worked retail in various toy shops. I've done warehouse work, manual labor stuff, and I was doing all of this stuff while I was chasing the acting dream. And what would happen is, at the end of an audition, at the end of an acting scene, whether it was a paid acting job, an unpaid acting job that I was doing for exposure, I would come home at the end of the day and I'd always have like 2 or 3 hours to relax and chill and just kind of unwind before I was able to fall asleep. So I would play games. I would play video games and I would play MMORPGs and I would watch guides because I'd be thinking, right, I've only got like 2 hours to play. I want to play efficiently. Yeah, I was unfortunately taken in by the cult of efficiency. But the guides I was watching weren't really helping me as much as I wanted them to, so I started trying to make my own guides. So when I was starting YouTube, it wasn't a risk because I wasn't losing anything to it. I was actually not risking that much because I was able to make the YouTube videos around everything else. I only stopped doing everything else when the income from YouTube and Patreon and Twitch was equal to the regular job. And I'm like, right, there's something here. I can do this full time now. It's a risk, but I'm going to go for it. And ironically, you often don't get into acting by just being discovered. You've lost time, which wasn't that valuable considering what I was doing. Yeah, pretty much. So the route into performing used to be very much be a good actor and you'll be discovered. Unfortunately, the route into performing now is very much who you know, not what you know. I still firmly believe the greatest actor of all time will probably never be discovered because the vast majority of people in the world simply won't ever get a chance to act. And it sounds horrible, but it's just a statistics game. You know, if you were to take 1 million people, chances are the top 10% of those actors within that 1 million people will not be in a life position to go and act on stage. They won't be picked up by an agency. They won't be found. I mean, statistically, the greatest actor who's ever lived would have been from China or India, simply based on the density of people that those places have. And then when you look at the fact that the Chinese and Indian film culture is very, very family-based, as in there are a couple of families at the very top echelons who bring their friends and family in to make films, the vast majority of people, regular, normal, everyday people, will not get that chance. And this is linking back to why earlier I said that I feel so damn strongly about wanting to support local Amdram theatre, because it gives people that chance. And I was lucky enough to walk into an amateur dramatics company, audition for it, get a decent role, and then be spotted by a teacher and them bring me to teach for them. That was fantastic. I very much loved that, but it took a hell of a long time to get there. But we're talking about acting, and the question was, why don't I look back into acting? And this was all looping around into a big conversation. So basically, the best way to get into acting now is to have someone who knows you and wants you to be involved in acting. Ironically, through being involved in YouTube and Twitch, I now have a much greater chance at being cast in something than I ever would have had. I now have more chance of being cast in something because of my kind of success on YouTube and Twitch than I ever would of just auditioning around cities. It's awful, unfortunately. I mean, you guys must know that there are... Oh my God, what's that... There's a YouTube channel. I think Danny Gonzalez did a video on it. It was either Danny Gonzalez or it was one of the other ones in that kind of group. And they use Instagram stars and they use TikTok stars and tween Twitter stars or whatever. And they make terrible TV shows. What is it? There's a whole... I'm just throwing a dwarf. It might be Jubilee. I'm not sure. There's a whole thing. There was a whole channel on YouTube that exists to work as a de facto TV station that makes shows. It might be Brat TV, it might be something like that, but no, it's terrible. They take... Do you remember Musical.ly? Remember Musical.ly? When you would find good-looking people lip-syncing to other people singing. In fact, Kira TV has an amazing video on the rise and fall of Milli Vanilli and the idea that actually the front men who were the lookers of the group were not the singers. You get a lot of people on Musical.ly who look, very stereotypically attractive, very classically handsome, classically pretty, and they voice over, they mouth, they pretty much mime over clips of films and songs. And some people have actually said to them, "Oh my God, you're so good at acting. You should be an actor." What acting? They're just opening and closing their mouth to mimic the sounds or the positions that you think the sounds would have been made from somebody who's already made them. This is not art. This is the opposite of art. This is the derivative of art. You're not acting. Acting is about feeling emotions. You're not feeling anything. You're taking what anyone else has taken and then pretending you did it without any of the background stuff that makes it important or interesting. We have art at home. It's a simulacrum of art. Thank you for using the word simulacrum as well. I appreciate that. Where was that written? August. I appreciate when people use the word simulacrum because simulation and simulacra was one of the books that I wrote my dissertation on. Thank you. See? I appreciate that. It's like saying Eren Yeager's a good actor. Let's not say good things about Eren Yeager. Okay? There's a line. I don't want to cross it. This is what all those streamers do when showing and reacting to other streamers. It's the lowest of the... Hey, thank you, Zach Frosty. Simulation and Simulacra is the book that Neo hides the money in when he takes the kind of disc out at the start. And that book is written by French philosopher Jean Baudrillard, and that is the entire book that I wrote my dissertation on because he has the phrase, the desert of the real, which is all about the idea that anything within a performative nature is itself a representation of the thing it is, as well as being the thing it is, existing in both real space and unreality at the same time. Don't get me started on representational acting or performance because we will be here a while. Okay? There will be a quiz. I will get an overhead projector. I will turn RuneScape off. We are learning right now. This is a listening stream from now on. You are going to sit down and you are going to learn things. That's what's going to happen. Please start. Can we make a PowerPoint? Learning POG. No, I'm not. Frustratingly, they make money from it. I know.